6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, that's 2020! Alright, let's get fucking drunk! Well, if you came to me on December 31st, 2019, told me that I'd be looking like this for a majority of the year, I'd be like, what? Ladies and gentlemen, as I'm recording this, it is 6:30 p.m. Central Time, New Year's Eve 2020. A year that I don't think I need to go into it. You've heard it from everybody how much of a trial this year has been, how heavy of a year it's been, and how we've all had to come together. And, you know, you've heard it all before, so I don't need to rehash the typical 2020, hoopla in this video, because I think we all know just how much of a clusterfuck it's been, how badly everything has been screwed up this year. So right now it's just going to be me recounting my personal year. I won't be getting into any, suggestive or controversial topics. This is just going to be about me, and this is my personal, send off to the year, going through the timeline. So, 2020, going into the year, it was going to be like the year. I had so much planned that I was going to hopefully do. I remember how excited I was New Year's Eve 2019. It's like I've got a lot planned for this year, and it's all going to be awesome. And of course, none of it happened. It all got taken away. COVID. So going chronologically in life, in January of 2019, I was working still for the Village of Frankfurt, where I still currently work, and I was also still working my night job at the Tinley Park Convention Center, doing room setups and arranging and the tables and the chairs and the dance floors, setting up the rooms. You'd get to work, they'd give you a packet of a floor plan, and you'd have to arrange all the furniture and accessories of the room to match the floor plan. And that leads me to my first story right off the bat, where January 3rd through about the 14th, I was sick as I have ever been in my life, like the worst I have ever felt. It started on January 3rd. I got just a throbbing sore throat. Like it was worse than, so I thought, oh no, could this be strep? And that's what I thought it was, because it was sorer than a sore throat. And you look in the mirror, you can see how red and stuff it is. So January 3rd, went into the urgent care and they swabbed my throat for both strep and influenza, the flu. Both came back negative. So whatever was causing this wasn't the flu or strep. Then starting the next day, January 4th, coughing nonstop. The next day, January 5th, I was coughing nonstop. And I started having these really painful, chest convulsions, almost like hiccups in my chest. But they weren't hiccups. Like I'd be coughing, or like I would eat something, and I'd sit there and then just like that, my chest would twitch inward on me, so it felt like there was a hand in my chest going, pulling inward on it, with these hiccups. And I couldn't sleep. This is my second night not being able to sleep because I'm coughing so bad, and I'm having these painful, hiccup type things in my chest. January 7th rolls along. I'm having non-stop nosebleeds on top of the hiccups and the coughing, which are still lingering. And then, January 8th was the nosebleeds. So January 8th was the nosebleeds, the coughing, and the chest convulsions. So that, because this has been 4 days now of dealing nonstop with these harsh, severe symptoms, I went to the emergency room. I said, something's not right. I never get nosebleeds. Even in January, when the air is really dry, I never get nosebleeds. So I go into the urgent care, and I remember that night, January 8th, because I had got a DVD in the mail of this movie called The Perfection, and that's a very disturbing, kind of gross movie. And there's a lot of scenes that deal with a virus from China, and there's scenes in that movie where people were getting nosebleeds and throwing up, and here I am watching the movie, and the nosebleeds started coming along. So I said, and I remember I was watching the Jeopardy Tournament of Champions with my mom, and then another nosebleed came, and I'm still coughing, so I'm like, I gotta go to the emergency room. So went to the emergency room, my dad came along, they prescribed, they didn't, this is before COVID was a thing, so they just listened to my lungs through the stethoscope. They said, inhale, which that night looked like this. Like, worst coughing I ever had. So he said, oh, I could hear it in your lungs are very screwed up, you've got bronchitis. No blood tests, no x-rays, just listening. Oh, you've got bronchitis. So they gave me 3 prescriptions. I went to a Walgreens, this is like 11:30 at night, and I'm sitting in the Walgreens in the pharmacy waiting area, and I start coughing uncontrollably to where I can't take a breath. Like, I could not stop the coughing. I couldn't take a breath, so I ran over to the freezer of Walgreens, grabbed a bottle of water out of the freezer, and like chugged it, and thankfully I was able to regain my breath. Then the next day, January 9th, I woke up with pink eye, on top of still having nosebleeds, painful hiccups, non-stop coughing. I haven't slept in like 5 nights now because I'm just coughing so bad. And I'm waking up whenever I do doze off with extreme hot sweats and stuff. And then that lasted another 5 days, it was like a 2-week-long ordeal. And even after it was all said and done, I lost my voice for about 4 days just because I had coughed it out. Like, I was no longer sick, but I had coughed and gone through so much my voice was gone. So I sounded terrible. I had to take a week off of work, and then a month later there's a pandemic. So, was that COVID? Because you remember, I'm working at a convention center and for the municipality doing 2 event-oriented jobs. So, coincidence? Or was it COVID? We may never know. But during the month of January, after I finally improved from that, the Village of Frankfurt, I'm working every Saturday doing the Winter on the Green festivals. The Ice Fest was the first one where they do the ice carving demonstrations. I remember the Winter Carnival. I remember the Boy Scouts Valentine's Day thing with the Rotary Club, where I actually got to interview my old assistant principal for work, which was a kind of a funny connection. And I remember the Winter on the Green ended in February with the big Winter Carnival event, which was such a jam-packed, crowded, you would never know it's 2020 looking at that, which is funny. So that was the month of January. I'm still working at the convention center too. During the month of February, stuff is starting to pick up a little bit for me, work-wise, doing hours at both the Frankfurt and the convention center. There was a fun night in early February where a bird got in the kitchen, and there's a humorous video of us trying to, get it out of there. And, met some great people during the month of February, including a good friend of mine, now Annalise Z, as she calls herself, who is a musician from Australia. So shout out to you, Annalise. And probably the highlight of February was when my friend Ryan and I, one of my favorite TV host personalities as a kid is this guy named Dave Hood, who had the Real Wheels series, which consisted of video specials like There Goes a Fire Truck, There Goes a Truck, There Goes a Bulldozer, There Goes a Mail Truck, There Goes a... There Goes a was the series, and we found these 3 specials he did. I actually emailed Dave directly asking him about them because they were so rare I couldn't find them anywhere, and so we got these specials from him called That's How They Do It: Chocolate, Money, and Dolls, which was where he was playing this character named Professor Hoodie. It was like an unearthed part of my childhood I never knew about. So going through the Professor Hoodie videos in February was a lot of fun. And then I had signed up to do the Citizens Police Academy through the Will County Sheriff's Department, through the Village of Frankfurt. I was going to do this Citizens Police Academy every Thursday night, March through May. I had the whole schedule, had the printout, I was so excited. It looked so cool. I was so ready to do it. There was a really cute girl in there that and I had also booked a concert ticket to go see this Blue Man Group Speechless show in Rockford that I was looking forward to. So I went to the first night of the Citizen Police Academy where they gave us the schedule and all this stuff. It's the first Thursday in March, whatever date that was this year. I remember there was a cute girl that walked in. Everyone else was over the age of 65, which kind of surprised me. I was like, oh, this is going to be so cool. I'm looking forward to this. I was looking forward to it. And of course, Fast 9 was going to be coming out. So I'm like, yeah, I got my Fast 9, got this Blue Man Group show, got the Citizen Police Academy. It's all going to be great. Then March 13th happened. There's a pandemic, and we're all locked at home. So I spent the majority of my year locked down at home, doing remote work when I could. I obviously not at the convention center, got laid off from the convention center, so that just abruptly ended. And so when I was off, I spent a lot of my days doing like live streams on my Facebook page, reconnecting with a lot of people that I had not gotten to talk to in a while, such as Marissa Lackney, Lauren, giving my personal friends shout outs here, but I doubt they care. So that was fun. Then obviously April happened and Tiger King swept the nation. That was a pretty fun era of time, and while this is going on, I'm doing a lot of promotion work for a musician friend of mine named Robbie LeBlanc, who's an amazing guy, an amazing close friend. Him and his wife Cindy, they live in Delaware. And I'm watching a lot of movies, because with the money I make, you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. And you guys know that I'm a big movie collector, big movie fan, so I was spending a lot of my spare money just kind of hauling movies. And if you watch my channel, you'll notice all my movie updates for the year of 2020 were all gigantic, So, hey, found some gems in there, from the earlier pre-pandemic, the Professor Hoodie videos. Then, of course, there was just blind purchases of movies I really enjoyed, such as Antitrust, The Long Kiss Goodnight, Drop Zone, Night Game, Phone Booth. And I got to see a lot of great stuff this year, and I got into a bunch of great TV shows, such as Tiger King. I recently discovered an not older, but like from earlier in the decade, Shipping Wars, which ran from 2012 to 2015, and that's become one of my favorite shows. I love Shipping Wars. And even at Disc Replay one time, which is this movie store I go to, I blindly bought the complete series of this show called Cobra, with Michael Dudikoff and James Tolkien, and that became one of my favorite shows of the year. Great show. Grand Slam was another bootleg I got. So lots of cool stuff. And that was pretty much like same thing. The month of May, just kind of locked down, nothing happening. The month of June, every single Sunday, I started doing the co-managing of the Frankfurt Farmers Market, which was it was interesting. You got to do your best to suggest people wear their masks and stuff. I'm sure anyone that works in a public environment can feel my wrath on that one, trying to convince people to do stuff like that. But between me and the event coordinator Sue, doing this modified market on such short notice, not knowing what the hell we were doing, I'm very proud of how we did it. And some interesting vendors too, like Rich's Sharpening Service, or another guy named Rich with his Doomlin Shrimp booth, and of course kooky psychic lady Adelea, who had a booth there selling her biscotti bread and was always trying to get me into her bed. I'm not even exaggerating. This woman, there's one day, it was towards the end of the market, so this is like October, and like she's saying, "Cat," and she's 60, mind you, but she's a mystic healer into yoga, so she's really, slender, big curly hair, and she's like, "Ken, we should go on a walk through the enchanted forest." That wasn't her trying to be funny, that was actually how she talked. She just had a whimsical vocabulary and a whimsical outlook on life. So that was every Sunday from June through the end of October that I was doing the co-managing of the farmers market. And nothing particularly big happened the month of July. August, of course, Flashback Weekend was canceled, so I did a whole retrospective video on my channel. September 1st, I turned 23, so one hell of a way to ring in my 23rd year. And also in September, this album, Feel the Burn by Brother Fire Tribe, came out, and I'm wearing this t-shirt because it was actually my favorite album of the year. So hey, some other good albums came out too, like over the summer we had the new Discovery by Gathering of Kings, which was an awesome album. Magic Moments by Sapphire Eyes, really good guy runs that. This was like the big one though that I was waiting for, because Brother Fire Tribe's always been one of my favorite bands. And you'll see I did the unboxing video for their necklace. They did a shout out to my high school in one of the Facebook live streams, which was awesome and hilarious.
The Tinley Park Titans! Go Titans!
Yes. And also in September, I got to do the walkthrough of the haunted house in Frankfort, Illinois, which was a very cool experience. It's where they filmed the 2018 horror film Girl on the Third Floor, and that entire film is actually based on the true story of that house. So I'm honored I got to, you know, tell a little white lie to the realtor. Said, oh yeah, I'm a sheet metal worker. Look, my dad and I are looking at all these fixer-upper houses, and I see you got this old Victorian there. And so he's like, oh yeah, can you be there around 4:30 today? I said, yeah. And I hung up the phone. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that worked. So I got to do the walkthrough of this very creepy old house. You know, you walk through it, you know, you can definitely tell it's like something doesn't feel right about this house. So cool. It was spooky. It was cool. October, we went to Wisconsin again, a very secluded part of Wisconsin again, and that was fun. We brought Eddie along, brought the two step-nephews along, who they've been in a lot of my videos this year. The Boys of Summer Barbecue Bash 2020, which was kind of a throwback video. They were in that Wisconsin trip thing. And even like backtracking in August, my friend Eddie and I, we had to help our old teacher, Miss O'Connor, move a bunch of new furniture into her home that she got from this old random estate sale from this random house. So we did all that. That day we had like 13 tornadoes touch down here in the area, which that was interesting. That was the start of a new series called Furniture Ventures on here, which is funny. We did a sequel in November with the two step-nephews. But of course, before October, we went to Wisconsin. Eddie and I went ziplining. That was a lot of fun, especially the last zip line that went over the lake. Just so cool. And that Wisconsin trip was a lot of fun. And then the week after I got back from Wisconsin, I started a new full-time 9-to-5, Monday to Friday job with a company called Pulse TV. I'm a copywriter. I'm a product specialist. I'm an order creator, an order reviser. I wear a lot of different hats at this place. It's, you know, it's my first time ever working in the full-time office business environment, and I didn't know shit going into it. I don't know why they gave me this job. I'm lucky that they did, because I need a job, and it's like, I don't know what caused them to give me this job. And of course I'm still working for the Village of Frankfort. I'm hoping I can go back to the full-time there next year, 2021, fingers crossed. And here we are in December. You know, you saw my Christmas video that I posted before this. That was pretty much my whole month of December. So hey, you know, as of today, they have like 3 million Americans vaccinated. So people just need to keep being careful. As a matter of fact, there's several people in my office who are currently out sick with COVID. So I went and got a COVID test yesterday after work, and today I got the results negative, thankfully. And you know, it still raises questions about whether or not I had it in January, but you can't bank on that. You know, you gotta be safe, gotta be secure. But thank you guys for following this channel all of 2020. I really hope that 2021 is a year of redemption. I'm optimistic. I'm an optimist by nature, and there are already some plans I'm trying to make for the second half of 2021. A couple little weekend getaways and stuff like that to places I've never been. So fingers crossed. You know, hopefully we can do this. So yeah, with that being said, let's just see what happens. The step-nephews, a couple other people in our circle are coming over tonight. You know, very small, close-knit group that we're always with. So, yep, here's to hoping for a better 2021. It's Grandma Stella and the Richinator.
Smaggy, do you ever use a kid? Oh, that's Hi, boys.
The Richinator.
What are you doing?
See that?
You know what, let me
Should buy you a top hat, Rich. Make it part of your regular wardrobe. Yeah.
Hey,
Your turn?
I'll think about it.
I think I have a couple of hoodies.
Okay, so we got some Mario Kart Double Dash going, kicking it retro. Jackson brought his cassette player / Bluetooth radio, and as Levi and I have been racing, he's been playing some sound effects on his phone that we've been trying to, we've been trying to guess what they are. An air compressor came up, a fart came up, but now, Jackson, whatever you've got on there, play that audio. All right, we're less than a minute on 2020 with Mark G and Greco.
Okay, we're gonna wait.
No, we got it. Stop. Come on.
We got a countdown for
Count.
13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's over. 2020's over.
But not a time.
2020's over.
Finally, the day we've been waiting for.
The day we've been waiting for. The day we've been waiting for since March 13th.
21. Exactly.
Yes. The day we've been waiting for since March 13th.
Yes, screw COVID.
Deep in some dark cold place in my brain, I can switch on the light, I can turn on a flame. Dreams like your eyes are fading fast, and each new road, well, it seems like the last. I want my